You're watching Rampage Pro Wrestling, and our next match coming up as we see this young man coming out, Tommy Daniels.
Very much so.
He is from Atlanta, Georgia.
Tommy Daniels came here just recently, trying to make a name for himself in professional wrestling. Obviously, Mr. Behrens, this is the place to be if you want to do so.
You're 100% right on that. A lot of people trying. Not everybody can do it successfully.
Now, Georgia wrestling history gave so many awards and honors out this past year, and a great large amount of those awards came to Rampage Pro Wrestling for the great creative process of Rampage Pro Wrestling, the promotion itself, for the referee, for the wrestler of the year. I mean, so many accolades came here, and in fact, they weren't here, but the tag team of the year, the Washington Bullets, after they got the award, they came here.
Exactly so. Aren't many more that are ready to join out of the state of Georgia who've been defined as the best, at least last year, that aren't already in Rampage Pro Wrestling. One of the best, Officer Chris Jacobs, in the ring right now.
And you know, one way that Officer Chris Jacobs got involved in wrestling was with the BFFs, talking about Marvelous Marshall Stevens and Anthony Andrews. And Stevens, formerly a trainer of Jacobs, that friendship severed. And right now, a good handshake. Be a great scientific challenge here between Jacobs and Daniels here on Rampage Pro Wrestling. Referee Dustin Robinson, another referee of the year for pro wrestling history. Lockout collar and elbow. Test of strength here. And the height now, the advantage here for Chris Jacobs.
Very much so, and the tan advantage.
Now, obviously, Mr. Jacobs, maybe he goes shirtless when he arrests people.
Yeah. Never know, that might make him a popular officer in his area.
Side headlock now by Daniels and maintains the pressure.
Can't take anything away from Tommy Daniels, however, a very strong competitor in numerous promotions around the Southeast, has been a champion in the state of Georgia. And this is going to be a tough contest here. Two guys trying to prove themselves, move their way up the ladder here at Rampage Pro Wrestling. Side headlock takes him over right there, does Officer Chris Jacobs.
And a hip lock takedown took him and holds on to that headlock. And you know, this headlock has been something throughout the years professional wrestling wrestlers have used for control, but also after a few minutes inside a headlock, the thinking process starts to weary.
Well, it also is darn painful. I don't know if anyone's ever grabbed you in a headlock, but if they do, the pressure that's put on the side of the head and on the ear in many cases, causing in frequent cases the cauliflower ear problem, the breakdown of the cartilage of the ear itself.
Of course, you know, anytime you have a headache of any kind, it's going to alter whatever you're doing.
Very much so. If nothing else, it takes you off your game. You're not able to think clearly, and if you can't plan ahead in professional wrestling, you're always going to suffer.
Good hip lock takedown into a head scissors now by Jacobs. Both men back up to their feet. And again, scoping each other out. We've seen great aggressive action here, but not crossing that line, something we don't get to see a lot here.
Very much
at
so.
RPW.
Right now, back and forth so far, not really a clear advantage, although I might give a slight advantage to Chris Jacobs. Go behind right there by Jacobs. Daniels trying to get out of it right now, looking for an opportunity. Waistline takedown, float over, has him hooked in a front face lock, does Jacobs right now. Good control position there. Daniels trying to use that arm to get free, unsuccessful so far.
And you see Daniels using some great wrestling techniques here to try to counter, but you see the strength of Jacobs and the momentum he has in control now of Tommy Daniels. And look at that suplex.
And the bridge right there for a pinning situation. Jacobs has to let go of the hold, and immediately to an arm lock goes Tommy Daniels. He could get a submission right here. Jacobs smartly grabs a hold of his arm, forcing the pressure away from the pressure position. Jacobs, though, has to turn, as he did right there, turn into his man to try to get out. Unsuccessful there.
A form of a Japanese armbar there as he has that pressure applied, pulling back, and those legs holding the body down, doing quite a bit of damage here, but Jacobs able to try to counter that, and that's where that upper body strength comes in handy. Rolling them up now to a pinfall. You never know where a pinfall would come from.
Jacobs popular here with the fans here. Takes him straight over, does Jacobs, but you can see that impact that's had on his left arm as he comes up with an uppercut right there, catches him with a forearm, kicks to the midsection in the corner. There's another, being warned by Dustin Robinson to get him out of the corner.
Putting the boots now to Tommy Daniels. Daniels now is in dire straits. Onward reversal that time by Daniels. Jacobs goes in hard forearm by Daniels. Off the rope, good spin and clothesline.
Right there, sort of a discus form of move there with the clothesline. A lot of power on that. Has Jacobs should have hooked the leg right there, Ben.
Made famous by the late, great Kerry Von Erich. And now into that rear chin lock, applying the pressure now. And he has that air supply cut off. and limiting the breathing here of Jacobs will alter him in this match.
Not sure this was the smartest thing for Tommy Daniels to do. He had his man compromised a bit, had an opportunity. I would have continued a little more aggressive offense, but it does look like this is becoming successful. He's putting some pressure on the carotid artery on that right side. And you can see right now that Chris Daniels is starting to, yes, he's starting to lose consciousness, Ben.
A version of that sleeper hold because of the fact that the carotid artery is being pushed across. And that's, I thought it was it. The referee's checking, almost out for a 3. Somehow Jacobs resilient, coming back from nowhere.
Well, we've talked before, he needs to turn there. It needs to turn into his man. There, he's finally managed to do it. Now the pressure is off, and Nate picks him up. Not a lot of control on that particular move, but it was successful. He managed to throw his man off, but you can see already that Jacobs is suffering from the impact of that sleeper form of maneuver before, trying now to get the blood back to the brain, trying to get that second wind as Jacobs comes to his feet.
And now Jacobs in that corner. And it's Daniels coming up, doesn't even know where he is. Off the ropes, Jacobs comes up, clobbing him hard in the head.
Forearm drop kick, beautiful execution there. Height gets Daniels, picks him up again, belly to belly, takes him over hard with a release.
Great release there on that suplex, and he went down hard. 2 count, so close. And Chris Jacobs now wondering how is he going to finish this guy off. Tommy Daniels, a hard-fought man in this match, giving him all he can in this challenge. You never know who will win in a Rampage ring. Everyone wants to climb that ladder, but only one man can get his hand in the air.
2 strong punches in the corner right there. Jacobs now throwing everything at Tommy Daniels, who reverses Jacobs into the corner. Daniels turns around, comes in hard, out, nobody home, and there's the knee right there, and there's the big knee lift.
And we saw that knee lift coming. Mr. Wrestling number 2 showed him how to do it, and he's perfecting it more and more each week. And with a high knee lift, the winner is Officer Chris Jacobs. And I know somewhere Mr. Wrestling number 2 in Honolulu, Hawaii is smiling at Chris Jacobs right now.
Very much a great execution on that. You saw the impact. Literally, Tommy Daniels.
Best I've seen so far.
Tommy Daniels flew on that one. Hey, a good show of respect. It appears right here by Officer Chris Daniels. Tough fought match by both competitors. Fans, we'll be right back with more action here at Rampage Pro Wrestling.